What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope all you had a great weekend. Okay, let's get back into Port Charles. Lord have mercy. You know, Frank Valentini, if you're watching this video, if you ever watch a review of mine, Frank Valentini, let me just say this to you. Um, please bring me on for one day. All I need is one episode, Frank. Bring me on. Let me just write one episode for you. Just one. Cause I see some of these characters need to get need to get their stuff together. They really do. Cause some of this dialogue today made me want to throw up. I just I felt dirty after watching this episode. I just felt like I needed to shower after watching this episode. Um, I I who do I start with? I mean, who some people just it's a cold day. It really is. It's a cold day, and it's already cold outside. But it's a very cold day in hell when I agree with Carly Corinthos 1,000%. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. If I never told you this before, um, I have a love hate relationship with Carly, with the character. I have a love hate relationship. It's like some days I love Carly to death. Some days I can't stand the chick. Today, I it was a toss up. I loved her today, and then again, I couldn't stand her today because as bad as I wanted to say to Carly, mind your business and stay out of people's business. I'm actually glad that she was in the business today because Carly said everything that I really would say to Sam. Everything. She needed to hear it. Um, it's like when somebody just throw the truth in your face. And Sam is the type of person right now, she just don't want to hear the truth. I think she's hearing it, but she doesn't want to hear it. That's why she's so quick to walk away. But I couldn't believe, this is what I just love about Carly. She's unscrupulous. She does not, she's unapologetic. You know what I'm saying? Like she owned it. She made no qualms about how she feels and the fact that she wants Sam with Jason. And she didn't care. She wasn't taking it back. She wasn't apologizing for it. I respect that. I respect a person that's strong in how they feel about something. They feel very strongly about something and they don't apologize for how they are or who they are. And she owned the fact that she was selfish. She owned it. She was like, "Okay, I'm selfish. So what?" I can respect that. I can respect that. You're being honest with yourself about yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're just being honest. You're not lying to yourself. You're just being who you are. Um and I feel like she did a good job in calling Sam out today because Sam needed it. And in the same breath, she really considers herself Sam's friend, and she feels like she and Sam are in this place where they can talk and be real with each other and be friends. And she's being open and honest with Sam. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, she doesn't want to alienate Sam as a friend. She doesn't want to lose that friendship that she's built over the years with Sam because it's obvious, it's no secret, her and Sam always kind of disliked each other over the years. Not even kind of, okay, they hated each other. But they're in a way better place now than they were 10 years ago, than they were 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like they're in a way better place now. And it took some time to get to this place. And I feel like Carly doesn't want to lose what they have now. But she's being blunt with her at the same time. And she said everything pretty much I would have said to her. The way she's treating Jason is so ridiculous. Like like the way she walked into the Metro Court, spoke to Carly, spoke to Sonny. She barely even looked at Jason. I said even Jason squinted his eyes at her like, "Why are you treating me like this? Like, what is your problem?" You know what I'm saying? I had that same reaction. I'm like, what is her deal? Like, what is her issue? I feel like she's fighting how she feels for Jason. So the way she's acting is just so crazy to me. I'm like, you're treating this man like he came back to town to disrupt your life, or he came back to town to ruin Drew's life. All this man did was come back to town. He fought hard to get back to town to reclaim his life. That's all he did. He didn't want to hurt nobody. That's not what he's there for. But his life, he's a victim, just like Drew is a victim, just like Sam is a victim, just like Danny's a victim. They're all victims in this. Every last one of them. I say, Carly, Sonny, Monica, they're all victims too because they all were a part of Jason's life. So they everybody's a victim in this situation. Nobody's the villain here. They're all the victim. And I just hate the way she's treating him. And this is what I said a few weeks ago. She's treating this man like gum stuck underneath the bottom of her shoe, and that's how she treating him. Like, what is your deal? I feel like the more she keeps telling Carly, oh, she loves her husband, she's in love with her husband, I just get this sinking feeling that she's saying all this because she's trying to convince herself. I don't think she's trying to convince Carly and everybody else that she's in love with Drew. I think she's convincing herself. She's trying to convince herself. That's how I feel. Notice how every time Drew asked her a question, even when Jason came back to town and Drew kept saying he's the real Jason or whatever, and he kept asking Sam, do she believe him? Notice how Sam never directly answered the question. When he initially proposed to Sam today, notice how she did not directly answer the question. She told Carly, oh, we got interrupted before I can give him my answer. That's a lie. You did not get interrupted before you gave an answer. You actually did give an answer, but it was a long drawn out answer. What he asked you a question that's pretty much a yes or no question, and you gave a long drawn out answer. When somebody asks a question and you give a long answer without like you're saying all these things without actually answering the question, to me that means a no. You know what I'm saying? Like I take it as a no because you're giving all these answers except the answers he's looking for. You know what I'm saying? So you're pretty much stalling at this point, and I take that as a no. So she gave this long answer about how she still feels married to him. All you had to do is say yes. Oscar interrupted right after you said all of those things, right when y'all were kissing. So you had plenty of time to say yes or no. So don't sugarcoat it to Carly, and that's pretty much what she did. She sugarcoated it and said we got interrupted before I can answer. That's a lie. You did not. You had plenty of time to answer. You gave an answer without actually answering the question. Sam is just getting on my nerves at this point. She really is. She's getting on my nerves. At this point, I really don't want Jason with her at this point. I don't. I don't. I don't want Jason with her. I think it's time that he moves on. I can understand that for Sam, life has changed for her in the last 5 years. I get that. You know, it's been 5 years. That's a long time. Things change in 5 years. I can respect that. But, but she's treating Jason like he didn't lose his life for 5 years. She talking about, oh, he can handle it. Really? But yet you're sitting here coddling Drew, and all Drew care about is the assets and the money. That's all he cared about. That's all he kept talking about was trying to protect Aurora and the money. That's all he cared about. Jason, he cared about the family. The son that he never got to know. I mean, his kids don't even know him. He lost 5 years of connecting with his kids. You know, he lost 5 years with Danny. He lost a couple years with Jake. He didn't even know Jake was still alive. That man is hurting too. But she act like Drew is the only one who can grieve. Like Sam is just getting on my nerves. At this point, Jason just need to release that thing. Like she wants to be with Drew, let her be with Drew. Bon voyage. Speaking of Drew, he got a visit from Oscar. I'm happy him and Oscar had that conversation. You know, they finally really sat down and talked. Because Oscar was getting on my nerves too. It's like you wanted to know who your dad was for all these years. Now that you know, you act like you can't be bothered. Like you don't want to know. Then he tried to turn it around on Drew, trying to make it seem like Drew didn't want to get to know him, which is not true. This is all just an awkward situation for everybody involved. I mean, he has a teenage son. He's just trying to adjust to that. You know what I'm saying? But I am glad that they gave each other a second chance and, you know, they're talking and, you know, he wants to get to know Scout, you know, his sister. You know, he wants to know more about Drew, but it sucks that Drew couldn't really answer any questions about his childhood, his teenage years, because he doesn't remember all those things. Um, so that pretty sucks. But I respect what Drew told Sam though. Drew told Sam that he's not ready to propose to her again because he wants her to fall in love for Drew, you know, for him being Drew Kane, not Jason Morgan. So he wants to get his memories back. And he wants her to fall in love for who he really is, not for who she thought he was. And I respect that. I like that. And if that happens, then I just felt like the only reason Sam even said yeah this time to the proposal was because of that conversation she had with Carly. And I feel like she only said yes because she's trying to prove a point. That's the only reason she said yeah. That's how I feel. It's quite obvious. I believe her love for Drew is real, but it's obvious who she's really still in love with. It is written all over her face. Um, Actions definitely speak louder than words because my thing with Sam is there's a saying, what's understood does not need to be explained. So if you understand who you love and who you're in love with, and the people around you understand who you love and who you're in love with, you wouldn't feel the need to explain anything to anybody, let alone Carly. So therefore, it's not understood who you're really in love with. It's understood who she really in love with, but she just feel the need to explain it because she know good and well that the person she's claiming she's in love with is not really who she's really in love with. She knows this. If that makes any sense. So anyway, Jason called up Anna or whatever because he need that disco ornament that Andre gave her, obviously because it got the flash drive in there with Drew's memory. But she donated it to the some charity or whatever. And her housekeeper, I guess, made a mistake and packed the disco ornament in there with the rest of the ornaments. And somebody took the disco ornament and it was on somebody's desk and it was open. So somebody took the ornament and somebody got the flash drive. We don't know who. Apparently it must be the backer or somebody. Um I had a thought though. Is it possible that Drew actually really has his memories? I'm just saying, like, what if he? Because Jason hinted that Drew may know more than what he's saying. Like, he may remember more than what he think he remembers. And that desk that the ornament was on kind of looked like Aurora desk, like in his office. It kind of looked like it to me. I could be wrong. I'm just saying. You never know where the writers are going with this. Um, we don't know who the backer is. I don't know. I'm just putting out feelers here. I don't know who it could be. Um, so anyway, Jason went down there with Anna or whatever. They looking for the ornament, trying to figure out where that ornament is. Because even Jason figured it out. He said somebody deliberately took that ornament. Because out of all the ornaments somebody could have took, they took just that specific one, not the other ones. Hmm. Yeah, Jason ain't no fool. So anyway, Lulu and Maxie was sitting at Kelly's diner talking about some charity, some food drive that they want to do or whatever. And I actually like their conversation. You know, it's a holiday season and they're getting into these charities and stuff, and I like it. Um, they're getting involved with what's going on in the world. I like it. It's a change of pace from all the drama. So anyway, Jordan. Jordan is pretty much beating herself up because she didn't see this whole thing with Andre coming or whatever. He's a therapist. You're not, he knows how to compartmentalize his thoughts and stuff, just like Anna said. He knows how to do that. There was no way for Jordan to figure out what he was hiding. How could she possibly know? You know what I'm saying? He didn't send off any red flags for her. Not even for me. Like, I didn't see any red flags with Andre when he first came on. Not a one. That took me by surprise when he was a part of this whole thing because usually you can spot the red flag. I didn't see one. He just was a normal dude. I knew he had a past. I knew maybe, he had family somewhere, but that's pretty much all I suspected about him. I didn't think any of the stuff that they put out there about him. How could you? Um, so yeah, I feel bad for a lot of people on this episode, but Franco, I tried to give him a chance. I tried. But then you know what he did? He opened up his mouth. That's what he did. Now he told Elizabeth all of his truths, almost. He didn't tell her about him pushing Drew down the stairs allegedly. That's what Betsy told him he did. I don't know if that's true or not, but he didn't tell her that about the fact that he pushed Drew downstairs. He didn't tell Elizabeth about that, but he did tell her about the fact that the whole time he knew who Jason was, knew who Drew was. Um, what pissed me off with Franco was he sat there and had the nerve to say he doesn't want Jason around Jake. First of all, that's not your choice. That's not your decision to make. You're not that boy father. You're not even his stepfather. You have no legal ground. If anybody should not be around children or people in general, it's you. Number one, you murdered people, innocent people. You profited off their deaths. You kidnapped a newborn baby. You pretended you sexually assaulted someone. You sent a rapist after someone in prison. Whether you did it intentionally, unintentionally, does not matter. The fact is, you still did it, and Michael got raped because of you. So if anybody does not belong around children, it's him. Because the way I see it, he's a predator. He's a predator. He's a predator. And the fact that Elizabeth has this predator around her children says a lot about her parenting skills. It says a lot about her as a parent. And I believe everything Helena said about Elizabeth was right. She's a horrible parent because who's gonna come on now, be real. For all you women out there, I want to ask you a question. If you had a man like Franco in your life, you that did the same thing the character of Franco did, but yet he said he had a brain tumor, it was proven he had a brain tumor. Would knowing that you have three small children, would you still date this person? Would you still marry this person? Like, would you even be involved with this person? I just want to know that. Answer that question for me. Because there ain't no way no sane woman would be dealing with somebody who did all the things that this man has done. There's no way. That would make you a horrible parent. I'm just saying, like, no. You would no, no. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, but you see how long that lasted, which I knew it wouldn't last long. Um, Elizabeth is a fool. Child services should take her kids away from her because I think they'll be better off being raised by wolves than raised by her. Um, she's a horrible parent that makes horrible judgment calls. It's like just horrible, just plain horrible. I just feel like some people just don't need to reproduce. I'm just saying, like some people should not ever be able to have children. Like, why would you let this man, this person around your children? Then on top of that, he's dictating what he wants. Oh, Jason shouldn't be around Jake. No, you shouldn't be around Jake because he's afraid that Jake is gonna find out all the horrible things that he did in the past. He's gonna find out when he get older anyway. Hello, you do have Google. Your crimes are public knowledge, so he's gonna find out regardless. So there's nothing you can do about that. It doesn't matter if Jason tells him or not. But anyway, this was a decent episode. Some people just need to get their brains checked. But hit the comment section. Let me know how you felt about this episode, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.